Welcome to your favorite program. This is Strictly Football. My name is Valentine Mabugu, and of course, I'm a man who never walks alone. I never walk alone. I'm with you. Welcome to the show.
Understand the whole part of, the
Still yet to receive our guard of honor.
guard of honor and everything. But hey, don't overdo it, man.
No.
Every time.
Okay, Bevan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's more like it.
All right. It's been a week of interesting results in the local Premier Soccer League, that is in the PSL, as the weeks pile up and the competition holds up at the apex as well as at the bottom, with traditional giants struggling and the new boys shining at the apex of the local league. And I can tell you this because Moes, the new boys, are at the apex of the log, followed by Scotland themselves, the new boys, who are also doing well. And everybody's talking about how these two teams will end the season. But early days yet, as we are almost approaching halfway for the season.
But can we agree that there's the only new thing about Scotland is the name?
Oh, okay.
What
about Moes?
Yeah, well, I'll take a bit of new from there. But when you hear Scotland,
Zimbabwe are old in the Premier League? 3?
Yeah.
3 seasons now?
Yeah, it's no longer new. You can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how long does it take for you to be old in the Premier League?
I think if you have survived 2 seasons, you're no longer new. Why would?
Oh, all right.
Why would you? You can't keep on being new.
Okay. So we will speak of the traditional giants faltering, as they did give us a drab of a match, but with good goals. Yeah, goals that we saw.
What did you expect from that game besides what you got? Because
of course it wasn't. Yeah,
it was not a boring game.
It wasn't a boring game. It was alright. Singakhayela futhi ukuthi yabona actually 1-1. Besifuna i-1 ikidliwe yabona ngani.
Yeah, well,
so we expected a draw because Papa Sangana Zitzoy, as it were, teams that are struggling, that's what I mean. Ezingani ziyadubeka lapha, ingani ziyahlupheka ukudlala umdlalo wenguqu elizweni okwamanje.
Valentine. Don't overstate the struggles. Right. Don't overstate the struggles. Why?
But let's talk about the derby itself. Let's get into it. The highs and the lows.
This one in particular.
Before we get into this week's fixtures, we are looking at Dynamos Caps United, that derby. It's the two traditional giants.
It's usually a game that dishes on everything. It's a game where you expect fireworks, whether on the field or in the stands. You have that, and I'm glad for this one in particular. Yeah, there were calls for, boycott from the blue half of the city. And hear me out. It's within their rights as fans to express themselves the way they feel that can give them a solution. It's within their rights.
What type of a solution are they looking for, really? Because they have to understand that this is a team that is owned by an individual, in as much as they are part and parcel of that lab. So people are...
You see, the problem...
Why can't they move on?
If you want... No. Wait. If you want to have problems in life, look at life or live life from one in a very linear way, and you go the legal way. If you think life is just about the legal aspect, you're going to get serious problems. Life is the moral aspect. Legally, yes, it is well within the documents and everything, the frameworks, to say Mr. Marriott owns that club, as the papers say. But
isn't it not a case of Chinu Changu instead of Chinu Chedu?
Yes, exactly.
That's what you're driving.
You get, and the funny part is, if you go to a team that bears the name Chinu Chedu, it's wholly owned by somebody, but he has managed to put it into the community, and there is buy-in, there is acceptance. I've covered games at Wadzanai Stadium, and people identify with the institution. They identify with the team they wanted. So the same is with Dynamos. Worse with Dynamos, because at some point it was more of a community team. They owned that team. So whatever legal process happened, and they ended up being sidelined. But here's the thing: when we say Dynamos or Highlanders, if you want to be honest, or Cape United, if you want to be honest, the first thing that comes to your mind when you say Dynamos, it's the color blue with all those fans. When you say Highlanders, you see your mind visualizes a sea of black and white. You get it? When you say Cape United, your mind visualizes a sea of green and white. So at the end of the day, legally, ownership says it's within Mr. Lusengo's whatever, right? But the fans also have a say in this thing, because for it to be any attractive, whether it be it commercially, for it to be known or what, it has to be the fans as we.
The fans are
we get
the most
joined
important thing.
I was going to say to the people watching that we were pulling a one-off on them. I was just trying my new role here.
You're trying
me of many caps.
Yeah,
well
done. Well done. You did amazing.
So what was missing was I think me tying my neck, really.
Yeah, yes. Of course. And then
how did he do?
He's doing well. He's doing well. And I know I was just telling him. We were discussing the other time.
Yeah.
So I was telling him about the fans and how they are also owners of the team from a moral level. Because for anybody to be attracted, any corporate to be attracted to that brand called Dynamos, they're attracted by the numbers of the fans. Because if for business, it's about commercial value is about the numbers. You get it? So if people are going to be shut out and their voices are not heard because they don't legally own it, it's going to be a problem.
I'm interested. I'm also interested in knowing what Bernard Marriott is thinking in all this, because I feel he's not dumb, to be overprotective of that institution. Wait, guys, I'm throwing the cat amongst the pigeons here. So wait.
Okay, throw it.
So you have to understand where he's coming from, what he's afraid of.
Where exactly is he coming from?
He's afraid of probably losing the team. People can be cunning. They pretend to bring sponsorship where they want to take something away from.
How will you lose?
No, we have seen it with big tech companies. I'll give you an example of big tech companies. How you have a brilliant idea, you're young, you don't have the funding, you come in, all right? They say, no, it's okay, but they keep your proposal or they keep what you have presented, and then they implement it. Institutions have done that, especially the affluent ones. So you look at that and you say, why is Bernard Marriott, being overprotective? I'm sure he does not want to see that dream die. I'm sure he doesn't want to be on the wrong side of Dynamos history with all its success, to say he's the man who led Dynamos to its downfall, to its demise.
Can I interject, Val? When we talk about Dynamos in Marriott, we have to be clear. He did not, he's not the founder of Dynamos.
No, he's part.
He's part. I don't know how far true that is, because they are schools. Can I finish? There are schools. There are schools. Yes. Those are legal aspects. Yes. There's a school that actually argues that he probably was not part of those that were originally there. I don't know facts regarding that.
An opportunist.
I will not. Yes. I will not argue along those lines. But when we talk about Dynamos. When you talk about Dynamos in Marriott, let us not talk. It cannot be the same with maybe Simba Bora and Simbador.
Right.
You get it? That is brainchild. That is his baby. That is his thing. Or Scotland
with his associates.
You get that is his thing. So he cannot then operate from a perspective or a standpoint to say it's his personal property. No, he's part of it. There are questions that people are asking that I don't know how to respond.
I've got a question.
Can I tell you the question, then you proceed? People are asking.
It's good to bully the anchor, isn't it?
Yeah. People are saying. I think the viewers out there can help us with the response. Some are questioning. If he owns 51%, who then owns
49?
The other 49. So, Val, we have got a poor mentality in Africa. where we think because you founded a business, you should own 100% of it or you should own 50% of it. You can be a majority shareholder with 30%. Because everybody else may not get there. It's still a controlling stake in some way.
There's also the idea of partnerships within the ones that have shares in there so that you have consolidated power.
He is controlling.
But you said that the first thing that he said before he started his argument was that myriad is not dumb. And then he continues.
I don't like discussing those words.
He thinks that he's not, right?
Yeah.
So if he's not, and
he's a very wise old man,
and he sees what's happening,
don't abuse wise.
He's got issues with words.
I'll tell you.
He doesn't like dumb. He doesn't like wise.
I'll tell you one thing.
He's wise.
I'll tell you, there are a lot of people who are intelligent, but nowhere near wisdom.
Okay.
Those are two different things.
No, he's not intelligent.
A lot of people.
If he was intelligent,
but
you would have made.
You do realize wisdom is greater than intelligence.
But he's wise.
If
he could hoodwink everyone.
If I'm presented with the two, I would not choose intelligence ahead of wisdom.
Yeah, but he's wise because
he's wise.
Wise.
Why is everyone making reference to him?
He's doing whatever he wants. All right. For how long has Dynamos been on this downfall? For how long?
I think since the 10 of since 2010.
So that's 15.
Maybe around after 2014.
They were struggling then. They were struggling then.
They were still struggling.
There were issues then.
I'm saying
I feel
they've always had issues.
Yeah, from 2010. I think since the 10 of the century. I think at the 10 of the century, from after the Kambas and Hove's, time debacle when they tried to privatize the institution. I think that was about 98 when Dynamos was doing well, went for the Champions League, and everyone was interested in listing Dynamos on the stock exchange and so forth. And then that's when they discovered all these shenanigans now on who owns what, who's there, who's what. When Dynamos wanted to be a private limited. Remember, there was a time when there were two Dynamos. Yes, there was a time when two Dynamos emerged. So you look, I think that's when
we are most likely headed in that direction.
That will be two Dynamos.
If the status quo continues, I'm not prophesying that. I'm just seeing a replay of that same.
Yeah, but when I ulendlela zokubona ulomabonela kude ngani uyabona kwangangale. So ngiyakuthemba. So now say
don't tell me that. I'm just adding 1 + 1 and I'm saying it because here's the thing. People get to a point, they realize, okay, legally this guy is protected. There is nothing that we can do legally. But then, we can always
hurt him in the pocket.
We can always jump ship and have a thing called Dynamos FC or Dynamos United or that. I'm not calling for that. I'm telling you what can happen because these things happen. No, these things happen.
Just not watering.
I'm just giving an example. I'm saying. It is not surprising. We once had Caps United and Caps FC. You get it?
What happened to Caps FC?
I think the pharmaceutical side then tried to come back.
And
they did not agree with the owners and stuff. So I'm saying these things can happen even to Dynamos if solutions are not found. But it pains every serious football person or a person who loves football in Zimbabwe to see Dynamos going through what they're going through, because this is part of what defines Zimbabwean football. When you go to North Africa, they know Dynamos. When you go to West Africa, they know Dynamos. Wherever you go, they know Dynamos. So if then the institution is struggling like it is, it's sad. Honestly, it does not make a good reading going on to the log standing and seeing Dynamos where they are.
Don't even go too far. Look at, people still remember, still know Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. They're not the biggest anymore.
Yes.
I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns has taken over. Because
they are winning.
They're winning everything. And this is what you see in Scotland, probably Moors, Zimbabwe, FC Platinum, and the Platinum teams in Gaza, and them, that they can do this. And these traditional giants have to. But look at how Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates have maintained the brand value of these institutions.
Performance on the pitch might be
but Baba, kungathiwa fill up FNB.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it remains one of the biggest camps in the world. Because you're talking of 91,000 at one point attending that match. I don't think in England they don't have a league match that gets to those numbers. Probably 80 or whatever, but 91,000 tells you
70.
They have managed somehow, because Kaizer Chiefs have been atrocious for some time. Yes, Orlando Pirates,
It's my favorite team. We just won our cup in 10. Yeah, 12.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
When we beat Pirates, just Kaizer
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay. Me and him, we are never for the same team.
Wait.
Orlando
May I
Pirates.
ask, is it 1998? Which one played with Caps United? Played against Caps United?
It was 97.
97.
It was Orlando Pirates.
Orlando, never liked
Orlando.
Never liked Orlando.
And I know I love Orlando Pirates.
I know, after that match, for personal reasons, I never liked Orlando ever.
You like Kaizer?
Because they...
You love the glamour. The glamour
plus
boys.
their affinity for Zimbabwean players.
Yeah.
That's why I love them.
Yeah. But
and I've always said they will never win anything unless they've got a Zimbabwean player in there. So they need to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'll sort them.
Anyway, we're running away. What is the way forward for Dynamos?
I feel Bernard Marriott needs to find a plan with his executive that is there.
No.
And allow other investors to come in. He needs to see his power.
Well, wait. The problem is him having too much of a say at Dynamos?
Too much. He's got a controlling say, so to speak. So he can hire and fire anyone, you know? So he needs to cede that power. Sometimes, too much power is problematic. It's toxic. So you need other avenues of power to decentralize your power, so that in as much as you are in control, it's decentralized, so that your vision is not blinded, it's not one-sided. All right, you have to be able to look the other side.
Also, and basically, it's Bevan Innocent and Valentine doing podcasts.
Yes.
Innocent comes with an idea, Valentine then says, when are your idea? It doesn't work.
I've been there, I've been through this.
You have been through this.
But
we don't have that at Dynamos.
We don't have that.
We have Mario Dran. Okay, so what happens?
But I wanted to give you my possible whatever way forward. I think the easiest period in human history to preside over anything is the contemporary setup. The world is littered with templates of how to do things and how not to do things. It's so easy nowadays, and everything is a search engine away. You get it? So physically, he's no longer in the space to be able to run such an institution. Physically, when you look at him, he is not, because football is demanding. We cannot run away from nature. Football is demanding, and let's look at it. If within your offspring you do not have somebody with the capacity to be doing that, they should you find people that can do these things. I'll give you an example. Well, if you
no, so basically, let's keep it in the family. If you
can't, there is no the family. If you don't have somebody from the family, get outsiders to help you run this thing. You are not like Innocent Benza is blessed with
the brains
in the family. You've got people that Tafadzwa can do this thing. He's there. He's on demand even global. You get it? So not everybody's going to get a blessing, but there are other Tafadzwas out there who are not probably from. The other Lusengos. If you want Lusengos, fine. You can. The whole generation there has to be somebody else who can probably.
But he hasn't been groomed to understand the politics. You were late.
You get it? So what we will need to do is just allow other partners to come in, like he said, seed shares. Val, what you need to do, like I said earlier on, you can remain with 30%. 30% of a viable institution, innocent, is way too much for it. Can give you a lifetime of luxury.
Yeah, the problem that you're having is that you don't know the difference between 51 and 30. 30 is less. Mm-hmm. And already in the mind, yes, you are making valid points, but 30 is less than 51.
You see, don't crave for 51 so that you can, with impunity, say things and do things. No, you have 51 if you are some certain businessmen that I can't mention with names, who can just maybe say, okay, I've chartered a plane for you. I've done this. There are people who have those kinds of monies, right?
Not waiting for get taking.
You're waiting for get takings or getting somebody coming to you with whatever groceries or what and saying things. No, you are not looking at that. You are looking at a situation where
Pula sangoma upevenia tita. Pula sangoma. What? Groceries? Okay.
I know I'm just saying things in passing, things that happen in Zimbabwe. So what I'm saying is you need a situation whereby we need proper sponsors to come on board. You get it? And revive that thing. That thing defines Zimbabwean football. Whether we like it or we don't, whether we hate them or we love them. Dynamos, they are very key.
Listen, Bevan, let me explain this to you in short.
Okay.
Zvakaoma izvezvi handiti but zvichaita pamberi apa ende kana zvaita pamberi apa indine 51 dara
manje dambudziko ramuchaita manje muchabuda zvakaoma muchabuda
but hatisi kuziva manje we don't know
because inzwa kwakamboita ana chibuku shumba vakaenda kukaita ana shaisa mfaro, you know, Black Aces was shaisa mfaro,
yes,
yakabuda anandocha na Blackpool vakaenda chikwata, you know, his team
takusota
you see, so we had an arcade, you get it, so we had big
close
plans,
to home,
too close
yeah,
to home.
Leave arcade.
It's okay. Yes, you get it. So at the end of the day, Ndakamboona it happened in Argentina, I think. I saw people crying. There's a team called River Plate. After 125 years, they were relegated.
Hey.
And it was a national outcome. You know what I mean? Funerals everywhere. You get it? Why? These things can happen if people do not adjust to changes.
Yeah,
if people don't adapt also. You have got to understand. Okay, Mazwano, innocent. Isusu, you, all of us here, when we grew up, you know, Taitora Majenjere, you know, the rims of those bicycles, stick, automania, so these are what we used to play. Our kids now, Antamba, FIFA, PlayStation, 4 years. We never knew those things when we were growing up. You get it? So times are changing. So you need people who know how to maneuver the terrain now. And if you're not blessed with those in the family, find them outside and run this thing properly.
Yeah, but that only happens if you have that sort of mind. But if you're always going to be thinking that people are trying to
grab your thing,
you're always going to be protective.
Don't blame him.
Over
He's
that.
reading from the Glazers manual.
No, that's just incompetence. There's no fear. Just pure incompetence. You can't tell me those guys can't run that club. You call me, I'll run it. Who win the title next season? Man, you. Who will win the league? Because I believe next year, with the monies that they have, next year we'll win the league. You can't tell me that they can't run. Yeah, they're same Fanana, Marriott Glazers. Right, let's move on. So derby. We just came from a derby. We're going to another derby very soon.
The El Keshigo.
The El Keshigo.
Yeah, that one is an interesting one. What I ask of the fans is let us be behaved. You know, let us have sportsmanship even from the fans, because I know there's a certain degree of animosity between the fans.
Between the Moors fans and the Scotland.
Yes, I experienced it firsthand. Were we together?
Yeah.
We were together. I think we're coming from Ngezi. So we had gone there with Terence, the CEO from Ngombe. So they are related. These are from the same stable. Then so Mo's were playing. They were like, team escort, and you could tell these guys are getting agitated.
Yeah,
you get it, and we had to,
So that's what inspire.
You get it. You get that. We actually be accused
of spying,
but we just asked for a ride home. So I think it's if the spirit of football is allowed to prevail, it's likely going to be a very good game. Why? Moors, they're flying high, and Scotland, they've gelled. They are gelling now. You can see that patterns are coming up. Stuff is happening. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Where we're going to play this game?
Yeah. The rumor has it that it's going to be taken away from Gordon Stadium for some security reasons. Not yet confirmed. These are rumors. But
okay, fine. We're here to talk about it. We are here to talk about it.
I mean, for me, it would be unfair to Moors. I think Moors has to just give guarantees of crowd management.
But what kind of guarantees?
Crowd management and
wait.
You there are certain standards that are required. So you go over the top with them, all right, in terms of your security, how many fans you're going to allow to come in. And I think it's a game that will do well with pre-season selling, or now that the turnstiles are now there, you can limit to say, when we reach this number, it's done. People can watch.
Like what they do in Europe.
Yeah.
The home team is given a certain number of
simple
tickets.
You limit. And that's it.
Wait. We don't do that here.
No, we don't.
Do we have
ticket?
We do not.
But now you look at Scotland, the VIP. They fill up the.
You see, that's likely going to be the genesis of the problem.
Exactly. That's what the problem.
No. So okay.
It's going to be a problem because when all those
the VIP
to borrow his vocabulary, the affluent guys are going to come wanting to be where they are usually, housed, like the equivalent of that at Ngoni. So they would want to then invade that. Then these other guys, they also have theirs. So
yeah, but guys, it's what really happens with the VIP section? Because the VIP section in most countries is by invitation.
Yeah,
now they've adopted that.
It's now a freebie. That's why you find at the Harare Derby, Dynamos versus Caps United, the VIP had gaps. It had gaps, and it was dominated by Caps United as if they were the home side. You understand? And now with Scotland, it's different. When they come, Baba, they take.
And the gaps are found by the Vietnam. So
they're not supporters, eh?
No.
Wait. The fans. Okay, let's be realistic.
The VIP space.
For Dynamos Vietnam stand, that's where you find Dynamos fans.
Yeah.
They might be spread all over, but there's Vietnam stand. That's your COP, right? And then you've got
City End
for Caps United. That's like your Stratford End, right? So VIP is like.
You see,
for Scotland,
you can't because that's VIP.
No, they are VIPs. You have to
understand. Then you can't behave.
This is an affluent. This is an affluent side. So you see,
everyone is very important.
It's too small. I don't think there's a VIP
that is enough to house.
Maybe
national sports.
National
sports, because it's bigger. Because VIP, you've got that VVIP, and you've got these other. I think
the smaller
18 and stuff. It's also still VIP. So you've got to understand who you're dealing with here. Remember, we called it El Keshiko. So
yeah, but I know.
Have you seen the cars that are parked outside?
Well, yes, good and fine. But you go to the Etihad, you're not going to see the VVIP packed. What's the point of it being VVIP if I'm going to be sitting like this with Bevan throughout? What's the point of that?
Yeah, no. The VVIP to far whether you are 3 or 4, it still presents problems. Remember, one day I think it was you standing beside the mayor.
The mayor
it was
next to the mayor. Yes, we were both getting
drenched.
It was raining. So
It was raining. VVIP.
VVIP. So
Yeah.
and the
With the
chairs
mayor.
had to be covered. You
We had to stand up and cover the chair.
Yeah, so
but anyway,
I'm sure it's a topic that
that's
we have to touch on with with the
But,
new Zimbabwe president.
Yes.
He has clocked 100 days. Eh?
Yeah,
we need to take stock of his manifesto.
Manifesto.
And infrastructure
there's
development
a
was
section on infrastructure.
Yes.
So I mean, coming back to the game, I think PSL and the clubs, I think they need to understand the reality of what's on the ground. To say, yes, traditionally we've got the Battle of Zimbabwe, we've got the Battle of Cities. Yes, these are big games, but we also have this game now. You cannot downplay this and think from a traditional perspective. You have to look at what is happening now. It's probably the biggest game now. So,
No, but my question now is that how was this handled when they were in Division 1?
it was a huge fight.
Yeah.
I remember I went to do commentary of the match between Moles and Scotland. And
That's the one that
That's-
Samaita nearly got beaten.
yeah, that's the one you nearly got beaten by Scotland owner. You walked onto the This is how big this rivalry is.
You get it.
You understand? And also Samaita, I mean, provocatively or religiously, unintended.
Don't be so
He
sure.
provoked
You don't be so
unintentionally.
sure.
I don't know.
Don't be so sure.
I don't know whether they
Say what
provoked
Samaita
or it was. You know what it?
His elder brother. It's
Yes.
your elder brother anyway.
So they score a late goal. All right, Scotland was leading by a goal to now.
Oh.
All right.
They were
The VP was now.
they were on the cusp of glory.
They were on the cusp of glory. They needed that win. What does he do? They score. He takes mvura yake. Amanzi angazi sintwini ukuthi bathi yini lawo uzithela nawo. Mvura yemtewuro.
Yeah.
And he does that, looks at whether he looked at him or it was coincidence. Whatever, he does that. You know.
It scored. You can't see me. The joke
Oh man, he was
it was
really
rough.
ticked off, and he had to walk in. So this is how I'm just trying to emphasize here on the rivalry of this game.
Your
you know?
Simba Boras rentals.
Yeah, rentals. Simba Bora rentals. They don't see eye to eye. That's a dad on its own. You know, there's you imagine the mamunya
I covered that game. They were literally fighting before the game. The Monyas.
Yeah.
So I just told the cameraman, roll it, Baba.
Let's see the fight. It's good. It's good content. Good content.
Good content.
Let's okay. If clubs, all right, we did talk about by invitation, and we noticed that beginning of the season, I don't know if it happened again, where club legends unfortunately couldn't get access to the VIP area. I don't know whether that is still continuing or it has been.
I think also the club legends themselves.
Oh wait, who's the club legend for Scotland and most?
No.
Scotland. Scotland, that would be Lincoln
Jasia, but yeah.
Denver,
Kamba, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a Dynamos.
No, they are a new club. They are a new club. Give them time.
So I mean, club legends also have to understand that it is not their right. It is a privilege. All right, that they get to go and watch a game for free in the VIP space. All right, you have to communicate with the club to say, okay, I would love to come. If the club says no, we are not
That's
giving.
a bit wrong, isn't it?
No,
The club is supposed to go to its legend. And
yes,
say,
but I'm
legend
saying
1, legend 2, legend 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
they can invite anyone. They can have an open. They have to engage. What I'm trying to drive it. They have to engage the club to say, okay, we are in organized legends, old schoolboy association, like we used to do for us who went to boys' schools. And we have an old school boy. You go to the school and say, we are organized like this, and these are some of the privileges we are going to expect for the role that you're going to be playing. We will love your recognition. So there has to be arrangement or systematic arrangement to say it's not a right, it's a privilege.
Yeah, I think the issue stems from the fact that there is general disregard for for legends in Zimbabwean football.
So it's a whole
those
system
that
that
it's a system that has to be addressed because people that contributed heavily to this are not recognized. For example, at one point I saw a very big man. I think it was 3 occasions that I remember. Evans Gwekorero was pushed out of the Faro Stadium. In my view, Sunday Marimo was denied entry. In my view. And I felt pity. Unfortunately, I on that particular day, I didn't have money. I just had my maybe pass fare and my accreditation card. I saw Henry Chari being turned off, and I'm like, do these guys know the contribution that this guy made to this institution?
I don't think the clubs and the fans understand.
They don't. So I think we need to have because it's actually another commercial angle that I'm seeing even in Europe. The legends games, you are having Barcelona legends, Bayern Munich legends, Manchester United legends, Liverpool legends. You're seeing this
on the international break. It's already on the calendar. They know who's going to come, who's going to play.
You get it. So now they don't have that setup. Like imagine what we would have done if we had the curtain raisers of the Harare Derby being the legends of these games. It would have meant people are coming to the stadium maybe as early as 11 o'clock. I remember when this, I think there's this cigarette company had its launch in Faro Stadium. They had a game between Dynamos and Cape United Legends. I had forgotten that there was a guy called Diney Meda at Cape United. I was like, who was it? Cape United? Oh, Diney! And it brought some interesting memories. So at the end of the day, this is what brings value to the game. So I think for the legends to be treated with respect, the system has to recognize that there are people who were before the current players who actually sweated and gave their all.
Who actually paved the way.
You have to know the memorabilia that it pushes the brand.
Yeah, it does.
And whatever they bring, it's said that he still has that old jersey. It's tucked in somewhere.
Exactly.
It can help the club.
In England, that jersey would cost thousands.
You don't get vintage jerseys.
You
now.
don't.
Go and look for the one Dynamos El Sporto jersey. You're never going to get that beautiful jersey.
I love the BP.
Oh, the Chibata Ura.
The green one with the
out.
You remember?
But Blackpool were next class of their own.
You guys are old.
It's
100 days, guys.
Yeah, 100 days. I would say we called it Udai.
It's 100 days. Yeah, 100 days in office.
For
Nobile.
For me,
what have we seen?
For me, I think no biases. I think knowing the background as Zimbabwean football, I think so far so good. If you ask me, there are things that, of course, that they need to proceed with caution.
Very much caution.
Certain engagements that they need to do so with caution, because the thing with these international bodies, they are a bit tricky. You also have to understand that whatever concessions or agreements that you're having, they align with the laws of the land and the morals of the land, because we have known these international bodies sneaking certain things that can then cause
compromise.
A lot of things. But I've seen the idea to go the commercial way. I've seen the improvement in the welfare probably of the girl child. I've seen the younger teams participating in international tournaments. We have seen the engagement with the diaspora. I'm seeing things that I'm hoping if we continue in that trajectory, very soon we are going to be seeing the results. At least I'm seeing somebody who's trying to so far live up to what they had promised in the manifesto. But, others are yet to be seen.
Yeah, some of the stuff.
Some of it,
yeah. But what's your take? Briefly, we only got 30 seconds.
100 days is too short a space of time.
Yeah, but do you see any...
The intention, maybe.
The intention is good.
The intention is good. So let's see how, because sometimes we side play things for the optics are in front of us instead of doing the real groundwork. And because when we speak of junior football and participation, I think I still have a problem. It's not just about going there and participating. It's about equality. It's about fairness. It's about meritocracy. It's about a whole lot of things. Let's not, we're going to get to the under 17s and just get teams from Harare and Bulawayo, and then we say
in terms of participation,
guys from
yeah.
Well, he did mention that Magwiz did mention that for now we're just fulfilling fixtures. But in the long run, we're going to have those structures where
for me,
it's not
one key area, that
I want the template to come.
One key area is club licensing, which forces every club to have an academy, a ladies team, to have a proper executive with the CEO and the board and everything.
Yeah.
Once we tick those boxes, we are now.
I'll tell you one person that will go against that one. His name starts with M. And his team wears blue.
Like we started without him, we are going to end without him.
Oh, well, it's been a great day. So there you have it. I have to conclude. I'm left with that cap. I'll have to get the tie for me. But that's all we had for you today's edition of Strictly Football. Do make a date with us some other time. Follow the channel. Like and share with everyone. We'll definitely lead you somewhere where we give you nothing else but Strictly Football.